Welcome to KDrama Divas, a podcast and community for passionate fans of Korean dramas. Join us as we explore the captivating world of K-dramas, discussing the latest releases, timeless classics, and everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned K-drama addict or just stepping into this addictive realm, get ready to laugh, cry, and fangirl with the KDrama Divas. Happy Wednesday. It's always Wednesday when we record. Welcome to the KDrama Divas podcast. Today we are talking about Queen of Tears, episodes 1 through 4.
I'm so excited about Queen of Tears. I hope you all are too. It's been a
Yes.
great drama so far.
It has.
I just started and it has.
It'll draw you quickly.
Don't spoil things for me.
We will not.
I have to avoid all the websites, all the gossip, all the
Oh
talk.
my gosh.
Don't talk to your mom.
Yeah. I avoid my mom at all costs. I'm not saying that my mom likes to spoil K-dramas for me.
Maybe she says things sometimes to throw you off. Maybe what she's telling you isn't the truth.
Oh, sometimes it's not the truth.
See, that's why she does that. It's on purpose.
Oh, that's for another show.
Yes, we'll save that for another episode. But the truth is, she gets so excited that she can't help but spread her joy
Right.
and sometimes plot lines.
Right. Which we're
I
trying
know.
not to
I'm sorry. Oh,
But you've been pretty good lately.
it's like I want to though. And I
Right.
mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I just want to talk about it
Right.
so badly.
That's why we started a podcast.
That's right.
We want to talk about it too. So Queen of Tears is a newer ongoing drama. I think there's 2 more episodes.
Yeah,
to
the
be
finish is
released.
this weekend.
Oh, I need to catch up. But so we are all watching it separately. But of course, Mom, Maureen, you were the first one to start it.
Yes.
Normally you
True.
wait until they're all released. But you
I
didn't.
try to, yes.
So why did you give in?
Because I just thought this is ridiculous. I have to start watching it. So that's why I did it. Yes.
And I just found out earlier this evening that the other 2 are not releasing until this weekend, and I was a little devastated. That's how good it is.
I need to catch up before the final episodes. But episode 1, let's talk about episode 1. And this is going to be full of spoilers. So if you plan on watching Queen of Tears, you may want to turn us off because we're just going to spoil everything.
Come back to us after you watch it.
Yes. Because then you'll just want to relive it all.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And we're
Yes.
here for you.
That's right.
So, episode 1 starts out with the male lead and female lead being interviewed by a magazine or something, some type of article
Mhm.
about their marriage, their relationship. But maybe we should back up. Who is the male lead and female lead? Mom?
Kim Soo-hyun is the male lead, and he's like the #1 Korean actor.
Really?
He really is. Yeah, he's the
Wow.
#1 paid too. Although he
Really?
took a pay cut for this, and they were
Wow.
I forget how many. It cost quite a bit, but he did. He took it for 300. He would normally have gotten 700. And he was so good in It's Okay to Not Be Okay and My Love from the Star. Those are the 2 I've seen him in, besides this one.
I haven't seen My Love from the Star.
Me either. I've only seen him in It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I didn't realize that he'd been in.
Oh, he's been in few, yes.
Wow.
Well, if he's the top paid, you would think he'd be in a lot.
Yes,
Right.
he has been.
Oh.
And do you know that he was in Crash Landing on You?
What?
He played just a small cameo kind of role, except that he wasn't himself. He played the North Korean guy that worked at the chicken place, and he was telling the guys, "Okay, you can take it over. You just deliver chicken," and he goes off. Oh yeah, that was him.
I barely remember it, but I'll have to We watched Crash Landing.
I don't remember
His,
that at all.
his boss is going, where are you going? Yes, it's him.
I believe you. I believe you. But then the female lead, I forget her name, but you said she was in
Kim Ji-won.
Kim Ji-won.
She was in My Liberation Notes, which I liked.
I haven't seen that one.
I want you to see it, Serena, because there's a big debate between
Amanda
me.
has never cared for it, but I like it a lot.
Okay, after this, you'll have to kind of give me the plot, and I'll decide whether I want to
Yeah,
watch it.
I
or
guess
not.
it's not about that. Oh my goodness, we can get so sidetracked.
Yes, we can.
Okay, Queen of Tears. So, how do you say the characters' names? Hyeon Woo,
Hein Woo,
Hyun Woo,
Hyein,
Hyein.
Bike,
Well, what?
Bike,
Just first
Hein
names.
Woo.
We'll stick with first
Okay,
names.
Hein Woo,
Hyun Woo and Hyein.
Hayen,
Female lead, male lead.
Yes, that's easier.
Yeah.
AEIOU.
By the way, if anyone knows any Korean tutors out there, yeah, Portland metro area, whatever it takes, we really need help. We just need to learn how to pronounce things. We actually were looking for a tutor, weren't we? That could help us.
Mark was trying to set one up for us as a surprise, but she wouldn't do it. So go figure. She won't spend time with us either.
They're hopeless. They're hopeless. Okay. So Queen of Tears, super cute. It's about a married couple, right? They're married. And you learn pretty quickly that they don't really get along. It's not a marital bliss type of situation.
They started off making it seem like they are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then well, as they're interviewing her and she's cutting up an apple, that she's a little intense and there might be a little more to the relationship than what they're saying.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. And it was really cute seeing the start of their relationship, though, because you think it really is this Cinderella type of story, with the roles reversed a little bit. The male lead, he's Cinderella.
Yes.
And
a cute one.
yes. How cute do you think he is, Mom?
Very cute.
Scale to 1 to 10, 100.
Uh-huh.
So they met at work and she was a really bad employee.
Intern.
Yes.
Oh, intern. Was she an intern?
Yes, she was an intern.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And not a good intern.
No. He was always finding her kicking the copy machine, and he was afraid that she was going to get fired.
Yes.
I wonder why he was so afraid. So she would also, as an intern, she kept getting yelled at by her manager. And another kind of red alert, she's going to be fired soon.
Right.
So what did the male lead do?
Well, he took her aside and he told her he was developing feelings for her. He takes her aside and he starts telling her that his family owns 30 cows, even more than that, because there was a baby born.
Right.
And he says, I don't rent my place. I have a 2-year lease and I'm able to save all this money. And I always wanted my wife to work, but I'll be happy to take care of you.
Yes.
And
Me too.
and then he leaves her with his umbrella. And she's trying to say something to him, but he's not listening. He's just rushing out because
He's a man. No offense. No offense.
He was so giddy and so excited
Yes.
that he didn't care that it was pouring down rain.
Right.
He had no umbrella.
Yes.
He just confessed to her.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
said everything. Like,
Yes.
I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
the
So it's
rest
almost
of
like,
your life.
Yes.
yeah, like he just needed to run,
Uh-huh.
before she said something negative.
And
She's kind of in shock. Like, but wait,
yes.
you don't need to take care of me.
I have a driver.
So then, I mean, they don't show when he finds out who she really is. And who is she? She's like the heiress of some huge corporation called Queens.
Yep. Queens, but they have a bunch
Queens.
of
Department stores,
branches.
malls,
Yeah.
everything, right?
Right. Right. I think
Yes.
they have shipping and internet. I mean, they've got a lot of different types of businesses under the umbrella of Queens.
No podcasts, though.
No, maybe they just didn't show them.
I don't know exactly when he finds out. I don't know if later on I'll see him find out who she really is. But the next scene is him at home, all depressed and dejected. Like, he found out I confessed and proposed to this heiress or conglomerate. I think he quits his job and goes back to his village and is like, I can't work there
His
anymore.
parents' village, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So then what happens? Do you remember? I remember because I just watched it.
She uses the helicopter and comes to him.
And the funny thing is, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's in this village. She flies in on a helicopter. He still doesn't get that she has money. I mean, the way he's talking to her and stuff, trying to show her around and saying, I save, right?
I think that was before, though. I think that was before he found out who she was. Right?
Well, that's it. The helicopter flies in. He still doesn't know who she is, right?
Oh, I think at that point he does. At
Do
that point
you?
he does.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I didn't think he knew because of some of the things he was saying to her.
Well, I think she came to the town before that, right?
I don't know. It seems like we're going to have to go back and watch it again.
No, but you know what I mean? Because it's like if she comes there on a helicopter, he's dejected because he knows who she is. And
Right.
she basically
That's
is
why
like,
he quit his job.
But when she embraces him, she says, you can always trust me. All you need is me. I'll take care of you.
Right.
Yes.
So at that point, it's like the Cinderella story he knows.
Right.
So I think when he took her to the village, that was before he found out. Because even then, he thought she was poor because she wore holes in her
yes, she wore
clothes.
Right.
And she says those were vintage.
Right. Maybe I didn't realize that the timing of those. Maybe I didn't.
Well,
maybe it was some flashbacks, and I wasn't realizing it was flashbacks.
It's confusing a little bit because you're thinking, when did this happen? Because they are all flashbacks.
Yeah. I know as we go on, I'll watch scenes and it's like, okay, are they wearing wedding rings? Or are they not wearing wedding rings? And that's how I can tell if it's
that's smart
pre or post marriage.
This whole scene kind of fades out and you realize they're not happy anymore. And what happened?
Right.
What could have happened to make them so unhappy? Because then you see them going to work together and they go separate ways. And you can tell there's a huge division. And also, you kind of realize in episode 1, she has a really big family.
Right.
And they all kind of live together, right? In a way.
Yes.
But
it's like they all have separate residences.
Right.
But there is one hallway from each resident that
on the bottom
them
floor
all together. There's like a dining room and a family room area that is for everybody.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, very cool. If you have to live with family, that would be the way to do it.
So I know that's true. But so, okay, there's so many characters. I try to keep them all straight, and I kind of messed up when I was trying to write it all out. But there's the female lead, her parents, and then her grandfather and his girlfriend, who is evil, 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 evil. And then,
but nobody says it's his girl. He doesn't say it's his girlfriend, right? He never says it's his girlfriend.
I don't know.
Well, it's implied.
Yes.
It's implied.
Right.
And they also imply in the first couple episodes, too, that she's been in the family a long time. I think even
20 years.
Even when he was married, she was in the family.
Oh, I didn't catch on to that part of it.
Kind of, I mean,
I
could be wrong, but I think she was. And that's why the female lead's aunt, Boomjaw, 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 I don't know her name, but she actually like gets into some sort of altercation with the girlfriend
Right.
and ends up in jail.
Right.
She seems pretty crazy, but
But she's not.
yeah, no,
You can't say that
I
yet.
know.
Don't say that yet.
learn it in the first 4 episodes, so it's okay.
Okay.
She grows on you. She
Yes,
grows on
she
you a
does.
lot. But yeah, she just says you're the reason my mom died. She keeps saying that.
Yes, she
So
does.
I think that, I mean, there could be more. I don't know. It's only the first 4 episodes we're talking about. So
Mhm.
and then there's the female lead's brother, who's kind of a bumbling fool.
Yes.
But oh, and he was also in Vincenzo.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Yes. He played the crazy patient that liked to flash people. Do you remember?
Is that who that was?
Yes, that's him.
I knew the face, but I couldn't figure out why, and I just never looked it up. Oh my word, that's hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
Yes. Yes.
And then he was the brother in Vincenzo, the good brother.
And
The evil. There was the evil
yeah, the evil brother.
brother.
Remember the two brothers that represented the bad group?
Yeah.
And he was
He
the
was-
puppet.
He was the puppet.
The puppet.
The one brother that basically was always told what to do.
He was pretending to be president while his evil brother was the one behind him.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow, but I'm
No, fine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
Wow.
he seems really familiar, right?
Yes. I knew he looked familiar. I just didn't know why.
Uh-huh.
And then his girlfriend, or no, not girlfriend, wife,
Mhm.
you learn in the first 4 episodes that she is not what she appears either.
Right.
She looks so wholesome and sweet and kind-hearted, but
And dotes on him.
yes, but she has a bad side to her,
Right.
and she's not what she seems. So it'll be interesting to see how that piece unfolds. The family, so we'll call it the family, and it's all the female lead's family. Super controlling.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes.
So I know I just saw it. So
Well, and I think we need to talk about her. So we talked about her grandfather and her aunt and her brother, but we didn't talk about her parents.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So it seems like the relationship she has with her parents is very strained. The mother almost seems
Mm.
like she does not want to have anything to do with her. She thinks that the brother is God's gift to the world, at
Mhm.
least to their family.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And that the male lead or the female lead can't do anything right, doesn't even want to talk to her, just doesn't want to have anything to do with her. So it almost seems like she's kind of on her own, other than maybe her grandfather, but you're not
Right.
even quite sure.
Yeah. The mom seems like she kind of hates her.
Yes.
It's that bad at
And-
first, at
Yeah.
least.
And other than this brother slash son, it seems like she doesn't like many people other than
Mm-hmm.
than
Mhm.
him.
Yeah. It's really sad. And it just shows you that, I mean, the female lead has to be tough
Right.
because she's in charge of a lot of this family empire, and
Right.
or at least
The department store.
Right.
I don't know. It seems like an empire to me.
Mhm.
I think it is.
And her goal is to be in the $1 trillion. Wait, what
Yes,
is it?
100 trillion.
What is it?
The $1 trillion club,
Okay.
I believe.
And she's not there yet, so she's upset.
Right.
There's the family. They're super controlling. The male lead has to end up working for the family
Right.
as their attorney.
Yes.
Right.
And I don't know if that was his life's goal, but it's a lot of pressure. And they're rich and powerful, and they kind of want to destroy anyone that betrays them.
Right.
And he's kind of a different type of person.
He's wholesome, down to earth, very loving, very
Yes.
kind, the total opposite of the family.
Right. And the family also, like, they're kind of mean. Like, the ancestral rights
Yes.
and
Yes.
what they so I don't know who wants to explain that, but
They have all these men that are married to different people in the family.
Like cousins and stuff.
Yes, cousins. And they all cook.
And all of
And-
the cousins seem to be girls.
Yes.
So all of the spouses are boys.
Yes. And then if they do have a male
Blood relative.
relative, no, he still doesn't have to help with the the cooking.
ancestral rights.
Yes.
Because I think they said that they
Mhm.
have like 15
Yes.
a year, something like, is that the right
Yes.
number? And so they have to prepare these huge feasts for the rites. And you've got, I don't know, how many guys were probably in there? 20 guys or so
Yes.
cooking all of this food and slaving while
Mhm.
the family does nothing.
Right. And it's almost like, again, role reversal because in most dramas, it's
Mhm.
the women that marry into the family and they
Yeah.
have to do all this cooking and they're tortured.
Right.
And it's our poor male lead and all these other men.
Right. But it's funny how even some of these the guys kind of afterwards or wherever they get together and are chatting and they're all saying how they all have it bad, but they feel even worse for the male lead because he's married
Yes.
to the female lead because she is a witch.
Yeah.
You know, she's mean.
Yeah.
So and
Basically.
really mean to him.
Yeah. And the male lead basically says she doesn't care about me at all.
Right.
And it's really quite sad. And you can see the pressure he feels.
Yes.
And it all leads him to kind of decide, like, I'm going to divorce her. I can't take it anymore.
Right. Right.
Right.
And that's after realizing if I divorce her, they might kill me.
Right. Because they don't let anybody walk away. So, and I have to, this is a total side note, but other things that we have watched have been emotional. And, you know, you watch them and it's heart-wrenching or it's happy or whatever. I have cried so much through this drama. I mean, the other ones I haven't
Yes.
this I have sobbed. I have totally sobbed. So it is so good.
Yes, it is. And he is an amazing actor because
Yes.
how he cries so much
Mhm.
and you really, I mean, you believe it.
Yes.
With all of his face,
Right.
his eyes, everything shows it.
Right.
He really is into
He's
it.
incredible.
He is.
Yes, I agree.
Do you want to talk about who's in his family?
His parents and his brother and sister. And they are each married, but they're not married to each other. I think there was some confusion with people that I'd read.
I was confused at first.
Okay.
I questioned it.
And yes, they're each married to other people.
Because they're siblings.
Yes.
So they're not married to each other.
Then I think there is a nephew too. The
Yes.
brother has a little boy.
Yep.
And the dad is the village head.
Yes.
Like-
And they own the pear orchards.
Yes.
And they have the cows.
Yes.
And it seems like they kind of run the village.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And
And everybody looks up to them.
And they have like a supermarket.
Yes, they have the supermarket too. So they're diversified also, just not
Yes.
to the same scale.
right. But you can't compare it. It's like apples and pears. You can't compare it.
Exactly.
You're kind of learning all these characters, and then towards the end of the episode, the female lead goes to the doctor and she finds out she has 3 months left to live.
She has some rare brain tumor.
And they say that it's going to cause her problems like time lapse and hallucinations. I just think to myself, this better not be sad. I'm going to kill my mom. I'm going to kill my friend Serena. How could the KDrama Divas do this to me?
Like I said, I've cried so much through it.
But it is interesting and it does kind of like draw you in,
Yes.
even episode 1. And then the epilogues in this are so good. They're so good.
Yes.
And the one in episode 1, you just learn that when they got married, they really did love each other, because you wonder, like, did they love each other?
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
what was going on?
Right.
And you just kind of see them at that time and you realize, yep, they did.
Yes.
Well, I have my own suspicion on how they moved apart.
Well,
We'll leave it
But
at that.
yes.
just leave it at that for now. But so then episode 2, they go more into the fact that she's sick and she is upset because the male lead refused to go with her to her doctor's appointment. He didn't know it was a doctor's appointment.
Right.
But then later on, she tells him, I have 3 months left to live.
Do we need to go back and say that he was going to serve her with the divorce papers?
Oh, yes, we
And-
should go back.
And so he goes in to tell her, and she says, well, I need to tell you something first, which happens in every drama, right?
Right.
And so she, of course, starts and says, what's going on with her. And at that point, I think that he just kind of probably inside, just all of his inhibition, all the walls that were up
Mm-hmm.
kind of started to crumble, because he realized that she was sick, but there was a little more to that.
Yeah.
You think that that's what's going on.
You think, you hope.
You hope, but there's a little more to the story. But that's how it kind of, the divorce and
Mhm.
that all kind of ties together, because then he decides that he's not going to, right?
You know what? Something that I remember was when he had said, meet me at 3:00 or whatever
Right.
in this, a coffee shop or
Yes.
something
Yes.
at a cafe. Meet me at 3:00. We need to discuss something.
Mhm.
And she never showed up. But then you realize that's when she
Had an episode.
had an episode.
Yeah, it was a time lapse
But
Right.
in her brain.
he thinks she just doesn't care.
Right.
Right. But when she showed up, he was going to serve her with the paperwork
Right.
saying he
Yes.
wanted a divorce.
Right.
So it wasn't like, let's talk it out. He's done.
Right.
He's tired of the
Yes.
stress of the family and then
Yeah.
not being cared about. It's too much for
Right.
him.
And I think he's stressed about it for a long time as to
Mhm.
what to
Mhm,
do,
mhm.
because they did love each other so much at one point.
You think, like, oh, he might care about her because he hugs her, he embraces her,
Right.
he's crying.
Right.
But then you realize
Mhm.
he's happy she's going to die.
Right. And why? Because he was told that, anybody that leaves the family basically is going to pay for it. And so he sees an easy out. He can just
Yes.
hang on for 3 more months. And
Yes.
when she dies, he's clean and clear as far as the
Yes.
family goes. So,
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's not all selfish. I mean, it kind of is. It is all selfish. But he's scared.
yeah.
Yes.
It's not a normal family. He wants her to die,
Right.
but then he finds out he's
Oh,
not
yes.
in the will.
Right. Right. So now he has even more reason to hang out and to try and convince her that he still loves her.
So basically, his friend comes up with the plan.
Yeah.
And I don't like that friend. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like this plan. It's so evil. It makes me okay. I'm not very far into the drama, so I can just lay it all out there. But I mean, I want to like the male lead. And I do like him. But it's really wrong to manipulate someone into changing their will.
Right.
And so,
For selfish gain.
yes. And his attorney friend says, put your heart and soul into loving her, so that she'll change the will.
Right.
It's terrible. And so he does. He tries to get her, like,
Right.
hook her in.
Right.
So manipulative.
Side note, have you guys noticed the flowers in this drama? The flowers, there's flowers all over their house, all over the office, and then the flowers he brings her. Have you gotten to that point yet? I don't know, but he brings her a big bouquet of flowers at one point, They are so gorgeous. I mean, that's something just I've noticed through the whole thing is the flowers. And there's some that I don't recognize, but they're just beautiful.
Well, I'm going to be looking now.
Okay.
He did. I do remember he brought her flowers on their anniversary.
Yes. Yes.
And then he's like being so attentive.
Right.
Like he peels her shrimp once.
Right.
What a weird thing.
Right.
I'll peel your shrimp.
Right. Sits next to her at the table
Yes.
instead of sitting at the
Yes.
far end where there's, I don't know, 10 or 12 settings in between them.
Mhm.
Yes. Even the staff notices.
Yeah.
All of the house staff
Yes.
notices that
Yeah.
something's funky.
Yeah.
Because this
Everyone's
is not how they are.
gossiping.
Yes. Yes. Everybody everywhere is gossiping.
They're like, what is happening? I just want to point this part out just because, I don't know, it impacted me or made an impression.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good one or a bad one.
Lay it on us.
So the male lead meets with his crappy attorney. Anyway, he's trying to encourage him to keep loving her.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you may think you forgot how to do it, but your heart remembers once you get into it.
It's a good line.
I liked that. But then he's also a little bit anti-marriage, and I think he's married. That's what's funny
He
about
is
it.
married.
He says, I think it's best not to marry if you want to be in love for a long time. Yeah.
Don't they? One of them says at some point something about marriage and divorce go hand in hand or something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I hate that. I sound so negative about this drama. I really like it. I just really don't like the storyline of him trying to deceive her to get the will changed. It bothers me so much.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, what kind of person does that?
Right. Just hang in there.
I'm trying. I want to talk a little bit about the aunt.
She has 3 ex-husbands. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is.
It shows she doesn't give up on love.
And didn't, I mean, it, again, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they all divorce because they were cheating on her, right?
Yeah.
Not because she, I mean, who knows what
Yeah.
her side of the story was, but they were all cheating. So
That's true. They were. So it's not her fault.
no. Well, it could be. There might be a reason why they were cheating, but
Yeah.
they should have divorced before they cheated.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't have been cheating.
This is a mystery for me. You guys may know, so don't spoil.
We'll just
Don't
let you
spoil.
talk.
In episode 2, you learn that the female lead, Hayeen, whatever, that she may have had an older sibling or an older brother that was lost. And they don't go that much into it. They don't really, you just kind of like, it's like briefly touched on. And it's almost implied that the female lead had something to do with it. But that's it. That's all you know. That's all you learn. And I think I'm on episode 5 or 6, and I still don't know anymore.
And
But-
Maureen and I have nothing to say.
Very good. Don't. So I'm curious about that. I really am.
Yeah. Do you want to go now to the female leads? Seems like it was her ex-boyfriend or fiance or something. You don't quite know, but you know that there's some connection there.
It's
Maureen.
just easier to call him her ex.
Yeah.
Whether he was or not.
Right. Because you kind of get the impression that he is of some sort, right?
I think he pursued her and she wouldn't let it happen. But to make him happy, she's calling him an ex.
Okay. And I don't know what to say or not to say because I don't know where at to find out more. So I don't want to give anything away to Amanda. So we'll just leave it at that. How's that?
I mean, you do learn about him in episode 2, and he's a pivotal character so far.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Yes, unfortunately.
So tell us how he is introduced, Maureen, to the drama. How's he pulled in?
He is a Middle Eastern
Oil tycoon.
Yes, it's like he's got all this money from Middle East.
Financing oil.
I'm wondering how they came up with that, but I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe that's an invented story. I
Right.
have no idea.
Right.
And maybe you'll find out later, too.
Yes. But anyway, he is something with
The female lead wants a specific high-end store in her department stores.
Right.
And in order to do that, she realizes that the person in charge of that, this ex-boyfriend, works for him and is like his right-hand man. So she's in an event where he is at, the ex and his boss. And that's how they kind of get reintroduced to each other, right?
Yes. Oh, he's just so evil.
How does he get himself invited on their family hunting trip? Because I don't know if I blinked too much. Like, how did I miss that? Because all of a sudden he's at that big event. And then the next big scene really is they're all going to go hunting because the grandfather has them go hunting every year. And Mr. Yoon, I can say that name.
Yeah.
He ends up going with them. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Well, no, I wanted to jump back to the event before we go on to that.
Oh,
Can
okay.
I?
Yes. Okay.
How the friend who owns department stores also and is in competition with the female lead says to the female lead, "You're the only one here without a spouse or a significant other." And so she's desperately calling the male lead, trying to get him to come. He's in a court case, so he can't come. And so she's just getting ready to meet the CEO, the president or whatever of this department store or the shop that she wants in her store. And he just swoops in at the last second, is right there by her side. And she's, I think, stunned and happy and to me, I just love the way that he just kind of swooped in and saved the day. So anyway.
That was very good.
Yes,
was really
I just thought that
sweet.
was a pivotal time, so I had to throw it in there. So back
Yes.
to the hunting trip.
No, but it is pivotal. And all these things that he's doing to try to get her to change his will,
Right.
it is impacting her. Like,
Right.
he's bringing comfort to her and she's seeing him in a new way.
Right. Right.
But I think he is slowly changing too. I mean, don't say he's so cold-hearted.
But
He
she
get-
maybe doesn't know that yet.
Well, no, I
Well,
do.
I
I do.
think-
Okay.
You're right. Because
I mean, like, remember when he yells in the store and then he
Yes.
backs away and hides, but he yells like, "Don't
Right.
run
She's
up
going
that
up the
or,
escalator.
don't run up the escalator or whatever."
in her high heels.
in her high heels, and she says to her secretary, "Who yelled?"
Right.
that?
Right. He's so sweet that he buys her tennis shoes.
Cute tennis shoes.
She says, "Why would you buy 50% off tennis shoes?" She's completely baffled. And he said, "Look at these shoes I found. There's only one pair left. It's 50% off." And she just was like,
Well, I think he was just trying to build up, the reason why he was getting them for her.
Right. It
No.
was an excuse.
It was an
Right.
excuse.
she
Other than because he didn't want to admit that he saw her.
Yes.
so confused. I mean, the shoes is a great example that he is changing because he didn't have to buy her shoes. He did it because he was worried and concerned.
Right.
But
Not because he was trying to get the will changed, but he was concerned
Right.
about her.
so you do see him changing, but I still don't like that storyline.
Right.
I won't be happy till it's over.
But I think it might have been the grandfather who invited Mr. Yoon.
Kind of, but I think it was Grace because Grace is trying to split up the female and male lead. She is wanting the female lead to be with Mr. Yoon. So I think she orchestrated because anything Grace says, the mother does.
Is her name Grace?
Yes, her
I
name
call
is
her
Grace.
Matchmaker Evil.
Yes, her name is Grace. Because she'll walk in and say, "It's amazing Grace."
How did I not see that?
It may not have happened yet. So that's a spoiler, but that doesn't give away anything. But I think that's, do you disagree?
No, I think you're probably right. Yes.
Okay.
Because she's trying to get them together.
Yeah.
So she wants her in the family.
another
wants him in the
evil.
family.
So let's take inventory. Evil people, Mr. Yoon, Grace, and brother sister. They're like the evil
And I
Empire.
Chairman's girlfriend.
Oh, and Chairman's
Yes,
girlfriend.
yes.
There's four. Four.
Yes.
Okay, it's really hard to keep track of so many evil people.
So after I had watched, I don't know how many episodes I was in, maybe as far as you are, I had said to Maureen that I think that the Grace chick, the girlfriend, Mr. Yoon, um, and I thought maybe somebody else. There was a fourth one. I think like the brother's wife.
Yeah.
I think that they are in on something, but not quite sure what and why and how they're all related, how they're all intertwined. But isn't that what I said? I
Mhm.
think
And I
that's
have a prediction.
okay. What's
I
your
don't know if
prediction?
it's too soon for my prediction. Well, it'll come during the hunting trip because during the hunting trip is when I predicted this.
Okay. What?
And I have to close my eyes during this because I can read my mom's face so easily. So I can't look at her.
Okay.
Okay. So I could totally be wrong. I hope I don't lead anyone astray that hasn't seen this. But I think that Mr. Yoon might be the son of the chairman's girlfriend. I don't know.
What would
I could
make
be
you?
wrong.
Why? What would?
I don't know. I just came up and if I'm wrong, I would be able to see my mom's face and know I'm wrong too.
Hmm.
But I just
Interesting.
have this prediction. I don't know if it's true. I'll leave it at that. I'll throw it out there
Okay.
and I'll know soon enough. But it's my prediction.
Okay. All right.
Way to keep your face stoic, Mom.
If you're always smiling, it doesn't matter.
She was just like acting like nothing's going on here.
That's right.
So I think the hunting trip is, it's pivotal.
Have you seen the whole hunting
Oh,
trip
yeah.
and past that? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And how the neighbors, he came with his dog and the whole dog thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Kind of gives you a little insight
Yes.
into his psyche
Mom, tell us about the dog.
and the crazy Mr. Yoon.
Yes. Mr. Yoon wanted to buy the dog from the neighbors because the grandfather had mentioned.
He wanted it, and the neighbor
Yes.
wouldn't sell him because the dog's part of the family, saved the
Right.
son, blah blah blah.
So it's like was it $100,000 or
Something like that.
it was
yeah.
a lot of money. He offered for the dog, and they eventually took it that night, right?
Yeah, they did.
They did. But the next morning,
Mhm.
they realized, they came back and said, you know what? Well, I want to give you back this $100,000 or whatever it is, like
Right.
$1,000,001 or I don't know, because the dog is part of our family.
Right.
And really, they are, it's like, how could you?
And
But
I think the dog had saved their son
Right.
too, saved their son's life.
Right.
yes, yes. So he has his rifle with him or whatever it is, but it's like some kind of hunting gun. And he immediately like cocks the gun like he's ready to shoot. And he walks over to the dog and they said, "What are you doing? Stop." And that's when also the male lead comes out and
Right.
says, "Stop this right now."
The male lead has his number. He knows you're not
Right.
a good person. And I don't like you hanging out with my wife all the time, even though he doesn't say it.
Right. Right.
But the hunting scene was really good.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Hunting scene. The hunting scene. I love the way episode 2 ends
Yes.
because sadly the female lead kind of goes off on her own and she starts hallucinating. And while she's in this like other world,
Mhm.
there's a big wild boar. I
Right.
don't even know. Like, are there wild boars here in the US?
Probably in
must
some
be.
areas.
Mhm.
I've never seen one, but anyway,
Because you live in the city.
there's none here. I don't see any wild boars in the Portland metro area.
Going down Main Street.
Anyway, there's a huge wild boar and it starts running right at her.
Mhm.
And it looks like it it could kill her. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these wild boars, but they want to kill people.
Mm.
And the male lead steps in, gets right in front of her, and shoots the boar. So confident,
Right.
so amazing, so heroic.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And they didn't think he could shoot.
Right. They were teasing him earlier because
Yes.
he has never, in all the years he's gone up there with him, he has never shot
Yes.
anything.
Right.
So
And he's so cool.
he is
He's
so
like,
cool.
I don't care what people think.
Right.
And that's it. That is like the big cliffhanger.
Yes.
And you want to watch episode 3.
Right.
Oh, so
But do you want to talk about the epilogue first?
Oh, we could because each one is so good.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell us about it.
So he's sitting around the table with his family and saying he wants to marry a housewife. Yeah, right. And that he's constantly worried about her, that he thinks about her nonstop, and that he's completely distracted by her. At the end, he says, "We're going to get married and I'll protect her forever."
Aww.
And that's where it ends.
Yeah. And you're left still thinking, like, what happened?
Right. Especially because he had just stepped in front of the boar. And yes.
Mhm.
So good. Okay, well, that's it. We were going to discuss episodes 3 and 4, but we're out of time for tonight. Until next time.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the KDrama Divas podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as we did. Before we part ways, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Connect with us on social media at KDrama Divas to stay up to date on recent podcasts and to share your thoughts and recommendations.